In a significant move that could reshape governance in the Gaza Strip, the White House is reportedly endorsing a plan that would appoint Tony Blair as the head of a temporary administration to manage the region. Surprisingly, this arrangement is suggested to proceed without the direct involvement of the Palestinian Authority, PA, as highlighted by recent reports from various Israeli media outlets. Blair's leadership would be within an organization designated as the Gaza International Transitional Authority, GITA, poised to act as the supreme political and legal authority in Gaza for up to 5 years. This plan seems to be inspired by transitional administrations in other regions, notably those that facilitated Timor-Leste and Kosovo on their journeys to statehood. The GITA is expected to initially set up headquarters in El Arish, a provincial city in Egypt that lies close to Gaza's southern border. It is anticipated that this authority will soon have a multinational force, primarily comprised of Arab nations and sanctioned by the United Nations, to support its operations as it enters Gaza. A broader vision of the plan anticipates a future where all Palestinian territories are unified under the PA. Notably, this proposal aims to alleviate concerns among Palestinians regarding previous American initiatives that suggested the transformation of Gaza into a luxury beachfront development, colloquially referred to as the Gaza Riviera. Crucially, under this new framework, residents would not be forcibly displaced from their homes. Should this plan receive the green light, Blair would oversee a secretariat staffed by up to 25 individuals, in addition to chairing a 7-member board tasked with the administration of Gaza's governance. However, Blair's potential involvement is not without controversy. He is a polarizing figure among Palestinians, many of whom harbor resentment toward him, blaming him for thwarting their aspirations for statehood and recalling his controversial support of the 2003 U.S.-led invasion of Iraq. While he has maintained a good rapport with numerous leaders from the Gulf states, it remains to be seen how stakeholders across the region will react to his proposed leadership role. Some diplomats have expressed skepticism, emphasizing that Blair's appointment is not yet finalized, and the interim governance could be instituted for a shorter duration, perhaps around 2 years. Additionally, this plan appears intricately linked to a proposed ceasefire and comprehensive hostage negotiations championed by the Trump administration. Interestingly, this proposal has come to public attention shortly after the United Nations General Assembly endorsed a contrasting approach, which envisions a technocratic administration in Gaza intended to function for just 1 year, leading to the handover of authority to a reformed Palestinian Authority after elections and constitutional modifications. However, the absence of a definitive time frame for when the PA might regain control under the White House's plan has been viewed as a significant hurdle that could hinder its acceptance among Palestinians and Arab leaders. Yet, the very vagueness associated with this timeline, coupled with Blair's involvement, might provide a sense of assurance to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In a calibrated response, the White House hopes this proposal strikes a balance between Donald Trump's earlier, more unilateral approach and the UN-backed New York Declaration, which has garnered support from over 140 countries. Trump's previous assertions around the possibility of cleaning out the Palestinian population from Gaza have been widely criticized as tantamount to ethnic cleansing, but the current plan explicitly states that it will not encourage a mass exit of Palestinians from their territory. During a recent meeting in New York, Trump outlined elements of the U.S.-supported initiative to regional leaders, specifically highlighting discussions with figures including the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, King Abdullah II of Jordan, Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto, and Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Following this meeting, Trump expressed optimism about nearing a viable agreement. French President Emmanuel Macron has been actively seeking to bridge the gap between these two competing proposals. Meanwhile, Arab governments are voicing a clear demand. Their participation in any UN-sanctioned peacekeeping force hinges on a concrete political timeline, leading to the establishment of a Palestinian state. Critics may argue that the Blair plan lacks a resolute path towards self-determination for the Palestinians, potentially establishing a new form of occupation that lacks the legitimacy of Israeli governance. According to the reports, Gaza's board will comprise 7 to 10 members, including at least one experienced Palestinian representative, possibly from either the security or business sectors. Other members would likely feature a prominent UN official, distinguished international figures with executive and financial expertise, and a notable representation of Muslim participants. To facilitate effective governance, an executive secretariat will oversee a cadre of 5 commissioners responsible for vital areas in Gaza's administration: humanitarian efforts, reconstruction, legislative affairs, security, and coordination with the Palestinian Authority. It's particularly noteworthy that the commissioner dedicated to humanitarian affairs will be charged with liaising with humanitarian agencies, including the contentious Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which many Arab nations insist must be dissolved. A designated PA coordination commissioner will work to ensure that Gaza's decisions remain harmonious with the PA's directives, facilitating a smooth path toward a unified governance structure across all Palestinian territories. In addition, this commissioner would also monitor PA reform initiatives, ensuring they align with international donor expectations and the inputs of Arab collaborators focused on enhancing Palestinian institutional development. Moreover, a separate body, referred to as the Palestinian Executive Authority (PEA), will engage more directly with the populace by delivering various services through a non-partisan and professionally managed administration. The PEA will be directed by a CEO appointed by the Gaza board and will manage multiple technocratic ministries, overseeing vital sectors such as health, education, finance, infrastructure, judicial affairs, and social welfare. This administrative structure also includes local governance via Gaza's municipalities and a civil police force consisting of officers who are nationally recruited, professionally vetted, and non-partisan. Additionally, the judicial system will be managed by a board led by an Arab jurist to oversee Gaza's court system and public prosecution office alongside the established Property Rights Preservation Unit. To counter fears that the reconstruction initiative could result in the displacement of thousands of Palestinians from Gaza, a unit dedicated to preserving property rights will be created to safeguard the rights of residents who might choose to leave, assuring them the ability to return and retain property ownership. In a recent address to the UN General Assembly, Mahmoud Abbas, the PA president, underscored that Hamas would play no part in governing Gaza post-conflict, fulfilling a crucial requirement set by both Israel and the U.S. However, it's essential to recognize that Abbas and the PA currently govern only the West Bank and lack direct involvement in ceasefire negotiations or planning for Gaza's future. Abbas reaffirmed that Gaza is an inseparable component of the State of Palestine and expressed readiness to assume full responsibility for governance and security in the territory. Interestingly, he delivered this message via video link after facing a visa rejection from the U.S. ahead of the UN's 80th session. Lastly, during a White House session, Trump firmly refuted any notion that Israel could annex parts of the West Bank. He stated unequivocally, "I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. Nope. I won't allow it. It's not going to happen." But here's where it gets controversial. Can appointing a figure like Tony Blair, who carries significant baggage, truly lead to a sustainable solution for Gaza's governance? Will the Arab nations support a plan that seems to stamp out genuine Palestinian autonomy, or does it pave the way for a different style of occupation? We invite you to share your thoughts and engage in the conversation below.